So today we are talking about real estate investment criteria. Believe it or not, but real estate investors, they do have a criteria that they're looking for. So let me tell you about that. Number one, location still holds true. Real estate investors, they always look to make sure that there is location, is in a good neighborhood, has access to all of the necessary schools, urban centers, good job opportunities, making sure if there are potential projects. So location is always number one. Number two is market demand. Real estate investors do proper research to check that area out. They look at the rental rates. They look what type of demand at which time of the year. They're looking at many different factors that determine that market demand, and so should you. The next item that investors look at is potential for appreciation. They are always doing their studies regarding that. They want to make sure that the property is located in the area that has a potential growth or already has a history of potential growth. I always get to all of my investors a map that actually shows the percentage of growth in each area code. So, would you like to get that? Make sure contact me and I'll provide that list to all of my investors. Next important items to consider is cash flow. Real estate investors, make sure that their cash flow after all of the expenses, after mortgages and all of the repairs and everything, that there is still some cash flow coming in. So that is the next item you always have to keep in mind. One of the most important components for a good investment is your cap rate. So it's a metric that is used to assess the potential return on investment. It is very easily done because you get your net income, you divide it by the purchase price, and you get your cap rate. Do you know the cap rate for your investment properties? Property condition is the next on the list for savvy investors. They always have to make sure, does this property going to need repairs? Does it need a remodel? Can we expand it? Can we upgrade it to get more value? And so you should look at that as well. What can you do to this particular property that could increase its potential? Next important item on the list is the exit strategy. And that's what makes the difference between the good investor and not so good investor. Always consider an exit strategy. Why are you buying that property? Are you trying to flip it for a short term? Are you going to hold it and create a rental income out of that? Or are you going just to hold on to it and have a long-term plan? Make sure you know what you're doing. Financing option is still important for all of the investors because a good financing can make a difference between how much money you are able to make on each property. If you invest, let's say $500,000, because of the difference in the investment, you could have a huge difference in your returns. Market trends. Are you aware of your market trends? Well, this is something you definitely need to talk about with your real estate advisor. Staying informed about all of the current project, the future project, potential project, and possibilities and changes in the economy and macroeconomy are super important when you're making investment decisions. So make sure you have a good real estate advisor that can guide you. As an investor, you always need to consider your risk tolerance. Everybody is able to handle different risks. Some investors are looking for something more stable. Others, they're ready for the high returns, high rewards on a high risk project. Which investor are you? Local regulations. That is a must item to know for each investor. You need to know the zoning regulation. You need to know everything that can affect your rental income, your value appreciation, and future sales. So make sure spend your time to find out everything you need to know about local regulation for the property that you are buying. And the last item on the list of things to look at when you are investing in the property is diversification. everybody knows don't put all eggs in one basket. So, do you have a diverse portfolio of your investment? Do you have investment in residential, commercial, or multifamily units? Let's talk about it. In general, all of these criteria, the one we've mentioned, could change depending on the economy, depending on the season, depending on the market. So, one thing is constant though, is your good global real estate advisor like myself. Please reach out if you are looking for your next investment. Thanks for tuning in. To stay updated with our real estate advice, strategies, investor tips, and property tours, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. It's the best way to ensure you're always in the know.